Okay, so 8.3 is graphing f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're just going to do a few of these. I will break down kind of what you'll see on your assignment, and then we'll go from there. So let's start with, I will go over this in my own words as we go through. So let's just go down to example 1. Okay, so we're starting with finding the axis of symmetry and the vertex. So remember, the vertex is where your graph meets. So it's either at the very top of the graph or the very bottom of the graph, depending on if your parabola opens up or down. And then your axis of symmetry is just the very middle of the graph. So remember, that's like that dotted line that we saw in 8.1 and 8.2. So let's go like this. So we're going to start with finding your x. So find x of vertex. Now your x of your vertex is also your AOS. Your AOS is what we consider our axis of symmetry, so I'm just abbreviating. So let's do that. The formula you're going to use to find those is b over negative 2a. Now remember, your function is ax squared plus bx plus c. So that's how I'm getting those variables. Okay, so your b is your 8, right? It's bx, so 8x, so b is your 8. Negative 2 stays, and multiply by your a, which our a is 2. So simplify. So 8 and 2 times 2 is negative 4. 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. So it gives you 2 answers. That gives you your x of your vertex, and it also gives you your AOS. Now your AOS is always written, not just your number, but x equals the number, because it's the whole line of x equals negative 2, not just the point negative 2, but the entire line. Okay, so keep in mind, always x equals the number. Very important. Okay, so now the last thing I'm going to do is find your y. So the way you do that, find y of your vertex. We're just plugging it back in, right? Remember, f of x is just another name for y. So we're going to plug in our x of negative 2 into all of the x's you see in the original function. So plug x in function, and then you're just simplifying, doing order of operations. Okay, so this is 2 times your x we found of negative 2 squared plus 8 times your x we found of negative 2 minus 1. So remember, I'm getting that from this. Just simplify. Remember, PEMDAS, you're going to do your exponents first. So that would be the negative 2 squared. Negative 2 squared would just be negative 2 times negative 2, which would be 4. So 2 times 4, and then plus 8 times negative 2, that you can simplify. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16 minus 1. Working from left to right, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 16 minus 1. Left to right, 8 minus 16 is negative 8. Bring down the minus 1. Negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9. So our y of our vertex, that gives you everything. Your vertex and your AOS, which is the axis system. Okay, so I want you to practice one of those, replicating everything I just did on example 1. So try this one. So positive down to the top. Okay, so hopefully you started with your x, right? So you want to find your x and your vertex first, which is your axis system. Remember, that's b over negative 2a. Our b in this case, remember, it's ax squared plus bx plus c. So it's 6. So 6 over negative 2 stays times a 1, because x squared is so low, so there's a 1 out there. So that's 6 over negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. So that gives you 2 answers. That gives you your x of your vertex. And then that also gives you your axis of symmetry. Remember, it's not just negative 3, it's x equals negative 3. Very important. So now to find your y. So we're going to find y. Remember, all that means is you're plugging your x of negative 3 into your original to find your y. Okay, so negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 5. So order of operations, exponents first, so negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18 plus 5. Working from left to right, 9 minus 18 is negative 9 plus 5. Negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4. So that gives you your y of your vertex, so that gives us everything we possibly need. So our vertex is negative 3, negative 4. Our AOS is x equals negative. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to actually graph this as a whole. Again, you were just answering the questions. The graph, I'm just teaching you how to graph so you know. Okay, so same process. I would always start with what we just did. So start with your vertex and your AOS. So remember your vertex is, you have to find your x, which is your AOS. So remember that's b over negative 2a, or b is negative 6 over negative 2 times our a of 3. Simplify negative 6 over negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. So negative 6 divided by negative 6 is positive 1. That gives you two answers. That gives you your x of your vertex and then your axis of symmetry. So remember, we write that as x equals 1. Okay, now we're going to find our y of our vertex. So we're going to do 3 times our x of 1 that we found squared minus 6 times the 1. So this is just order of operations. 1 squared is 1, so 3 times 1. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6, bring down the plus 5. 3 times 1 is 3, minus 6 plus 5. 3 minus 6 is negative 3, plus 5, so positive 2. So the y of our vertex is 2. Now this is your c of 5. Remember, it's ax squared plus bx. Your c tells you your y-intercept, but remember your y is always in ordered pair. So it's not just 5. Remember your x is 0, so 0, 5. So for y-intercept, remember your x is always 0. And then whatever that c is, in this case is 5, that would be your y-intercept. Okay, open, up, down, and wider, narrower, or the same. Remember all of that is with your a. So in this case, our a equals 3. So because our a equals 3 is positive, that means it opens up. So that's all from 8, 1, and 8, 2. A is 3, which means it's a whole number, so that means it's narrower, right? It's again all from 8, 1, and 8, 2. So now that's all you would have to answer, but let me just show you the graph so you understand that. So you're always starting with your vertex, which would be 1, 2. I would plot your y-intercept, so that's 0, 5. And then you could straight up just replicate that on the other side. And that would give you the 1a, 3a, 5a. I would just stop there. And you always want to graph your AOS. So remember that's the middle, which we said was x equals 1. And that's just a dash line up and down. And that's just how you would graph that. Okay, so I want you to practice one of these. And you're just straight up answering the vertex, AOS, y-intercept, open, up, down, wider, narrower. I want you to try this one. You're telling me the same thing. You're telling me the vertex, AOS, y-intercept, up, down, or wider and narrower. So go ahead and pause this video and try that. Okay. So your vertex, we're going to start with that in your AOS. So your x of your vertex would be b over negative 2a. Okay, so our ax squared plus c. So our b is negative 8. So negative 8 over negative 2 times our a of 1. So negative 8 divided by negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. 8 divided by negative 2 would be 4. So now that's our AOS. So x equals 4. And also the x squared vertex. Now we're going to find y. So x squared is 4 squared. 4 minus 8 times our x of 4. What is it? What's 7? The order of operations, 4 squared gives you 16. Negative 8 times 4 is negative 32 plus 7. So now working from left to right, 16 minus 32 is negative 16 plus 7, negative 9. So the y of our vertex is negative 9. And now we're going to find our y-intercepts. Remember that's 0, whatever your y is, which is our c. Our c is 7, so 0, 7. Up, down, wider, narrower deals with a. Our a is 1. Because our a is 1, positive, and because it's 1, remember that's actually the same as x squared. Keep that in mind. So again, that is what you answered, but let me show you the graph in case you decided to try that for negative magnitude vertex. Wow, I missed your y-intercept is 0, 7. Ooh, that is huge. So it would look like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. Your AOS. That is it for graphing ax squared plus b